Chase McCain.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Sam's33 here, and welcome to Stack Attack. And today we're gonna look at Voltix, set number 6283, ages 7 to 14, and has 61 pieces. Now, before we start, I should mention that I have kind of a cold, so excuse me if I cut the video to below my nose for a second. So yeah, this is Voltix. It is the new year now, so Happy New Year to you all, and the Brain Attack sets are out, but I don't have any. And frankly, I'd like to use my money on some other things right now. So yeah, here's Voltix. So he's one of the $13 characters. He's, you know, kind of medium sized. So yeah, I guess we should open up the package and see what we get inside this thing, Voltix. Let's see what's in here. Alright, I've laid out all the pieces here, and in this episode of Stack Attack, I'm going to try something a little bit different with this, with the rating system, and I'm going to basically section off the 4 ratings I give into sections. So this section, this is going to be the mock pieces section, where I take a look at all the pieces, and, you know, see what I think of the pieces and see how all the unique ones weigh out, and how high of a mock score it gets. So, yep, let's take a look, see what we get. First of all, let's take a look at some of the regular pieces that are just kind of colored differently. So you can see we get 4 of these upper limb pieces, bone pieces in red. So those are very nice. I'm not sure how common reds are. They're not the rarest piece, but they're definitely rarer than some, and like the blacks and stuff. Next we have a couple of these add-on armor pieces in gunmetal gray. Then we have 2 of them in purple, which is a very unique color, as you can probably tell. Not going to find these anywhere else. Very nice color to have those in. And speaking of purple, we also get a purple chest plate. So that is very nice. Purple chest plate. Pretty cool. Okay. Next we have this headpiece. Kind of a generic headpiece. Black Phantom had it, but this time it's in gray. Gunmetal gray, actually. And I'm not exactly liking it just because it's just, I mean, I don't like the fact that they're making this piece again in just a different color, but it is a very versatile piece. As you can see, it has the pins on the side and the top, and you can stick some in from the side when you have the Glatorian head there. So it's a very versatile piece, but I wish they'd just kind of make a different piece, but keep the same kind of shape, you know, not rehash the same head over and over again, especially since it has that dumb pin sticking out at the top when you build it. Next we have these 2 blaster pieces in gunmetal, as you can see, and actually one piece that I rolled off the table earlier. I actually found, just realized that the Zamosphere launcher, or Zamosphere, is yellow, which is a very unique color. Don't see it in yellow very often. I don't think we've ever seen it in yellow. So yeah, that's the yellow Zamosphere. Xano. Is it Xano? I think it's Xano. Next we have 2 of these red hand pieces. Again, red. Not rarest color, but it's still pretty rare. Next we have the Hero Core. Standard Hero Core that every character gets. Just with the code on the back. Next we have this yellow... whatever. Next we have this yellow tentacle piece. This is the pin right there, hole there, and these little holes on the coming up to the tip. Well, aren't at the tip, but coming close to the hilt, I guess, are a couple holes that you can put things through. Yep, one of these pieces. Pretty sure that's a unique piece to the set, or a unique color. Next, we have a bunch of little connector pieces. As you can see here, we have some of these dual-ended axle connector pieces. You get 3 of those, I think. Yeah, 3. And we have some of these ones with the hole on the side. Number 1, it says. Get 2 of those. Next we have these little, I don't even know what you call these, just connector things with the axle on the side. Yeah, we get 2 of those. Then we have 3 of these ones with the axle connector down there and on the side. So we get 3 of those. Next we have a lot of these pipe pieces. We get 2 of these pipes in red, as you can see. It's the little pin right there, both sides. And we also have 2 in translucent blue type thing. So very nice pieces there. I don't think these are unique to this set. I think Surge Breakout has these as well. But still, nice piece to have a few of. And lastly, but not least, is these electrical pieces. These are very cool pieces, as you can see. It has the 2 pins on the side, and it's just a electrical thing coming out. Very nice pieces indeed. Definitely look very cool. Very nice. Get 4 of them too. So yeah, that's all the pieces. As for what I rate the mock pieces, of course, get the stack bar for this part. Yeah, it's a little on the angle. But yeah, stack bar. And yeah, alright, so how many bricks will I give it for the mock pieces section? I will give it 4, just because there are quite a lot of good mock pieces in this set. You get a lot of very different colored pieces, and you also get the electrical pieces, which are very nice. These ones. And all the purple pieces, so I think the mock pieces are definitely very good for this set. So now we've looked at that, let's go ahead and build the set. Alright, now that I've built him up, let's look at the size of Voltix and see how it measures up. As you can see, he has kind of a lot of these pipes going everywhere around him, and that kind of makes him look very bulky up at the top of his, just up at the top. But he's not exactly the bulkiest character. He does have a lot of armor in a lot of places, like a lot of these add-on pieces. But the pipes just make him look a lot more bulky. Just if I take them off and let you see how just kind of his standard body looks without them, he looks a lot less bulky, I'm sure. Yeah, so he definitely does a lot less in the upper arms, and these kind of stick out a lot as well without the pipes. But the pipes are a little more difficult to mold, and I'm not sure exactly how much 61 pieces is. I think that's a lot of pieces. He does have a lot of these kind of small little pieces, like just a lot of smaller pieces. But I do think he's pretty good on size, so to add on to the 4 bricks we had from mock pieces, let's add some more for the size, and I think I'm going to go 3. He's not that big, but he's not really small either. I definitely think he's kind of alright for what he is. As you can see, I just put the pipes back on again, and he does look a lot more bulky, but he still does look decently sized. He's definitely not small. He has a few larger limbs in the legs to make him look a little taller, and he does have the foot in the back with some add-on stuff on it, so that does add to his size a little bit. So overall, I think he's just, alright. He's not that bad. He's not too great. He's just kind of decent size for $13, so yeah, he gets a pass, I guess. Now let's take a look at the play value of the character. So down the legs, his articulation is perfectly fine down there. Nothing to complain about there. The arms, the pipes may seem like they might get in the way a little bit, but they don't seem to get in the way. This tentacle thing does kind of flail around everywhere and bumps into things. But of course you can always turn this thing and make the tentacle spin, so that's kind of neat. The other arm, one's fine too. There aren't really any pieces that particularly fall off of the character, except for the Zamosphere, but that falls off of everything. And this, the piece on his back, this thing, it might seem like getting in the way, but you can move this so it, if it's getting in the way, or if if he's too tall or something, you can turn that down. That helps a little bit. His head articulation's fine there. These electrical things can get in the way a bit, but again, they don't really get in the way that much. As for what weapons he has, I think he's alright. He has the Zamosphere, which is cool. But I don't exactly know what you do with this tentacle thing. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Like, when Meltdown had this, I guess it was supposed to be more of a, like, like the toxic waste stuff shooting out. But this is just, I guess, like a laser or something. It's like a electrical blast or something. So, I'm not quite sure what weapon's supposed to be. It does turn, and I guess you could like wrap it around the hero or something. There's actually something cool you can do with this is if you turn it around like this, you can make it into a loop, stick it through there, and voila, loop. So that's always something you can do with the tentacle. So for play value, I'm not exactly sure what I should give him. Not exactly much really here. We have the original 7 points from the first 2 ratings, so for play value, I think I'm gonna go 2. I mean, it's not horrible, but his weapons don't exactly, you know, shoot. I mean, they're not exactly very fun to play with, in my opinion. His head, as you can see, you know, some of the things, all these like protruding obstacles, or no, all these parts of him, like the electricity and the pipes, can get in the way. They're not too much of a hassle, but they do kind of get in the way, and, you know, he's, I don't know, he's not exactly, he doesn't seem like he'd be the most fun character to play with, in my opinion. And now for the final rating section thing of this view of Voltix is the cool factor / overall design of the character. So let's start down at the legs. As you can see, he has standard black feet, which I don't think fit very well. The rest of him is more red and purple, and then there's some like blues and yellows, and then there's just this standard black. I mean, I think they could have easily made this pretty much any other of the several colors he had, and it'd be fine. It doesn't really go with the gunmetal armor. It's just kind of there. Speaking of gunmetal, he has the add-on pieces down here, and then the red and black and gunmetal do kind of blend together very well in these legs. I definitely like these. Gunmetal and red, and there's a little black in the middle, and then it goes back to red, and then there's more gunmetal. So I definitely like that. I guess Blackfoot does kind of fit in that remark, but I think it's too much black compared to very little black in his knees. And then once there's this nice shade of color down here, it kind of goes to purple, because why not? Purple chest plate, nothing much to say about that. And then a lot more red, and the red color scheme definitely stays throughout the whole character. As you can see, there's some more red here, and then the purple continues, and then at the tips there's more yellow. I think the yellow is definitely one of the worst parts. The thing that throws me off the most is the yellow. Just, you know, reds and purples and blues, and then there's yellow, just primary colors with purple and black thrown in. Well, I guess there's a little yellow in the electrical things, but again, I think those are more blend into the darker colors, like the purples and the gunmetals and the reds, because they're more green, darker yellow, and this just kind of bright yellow on it. And then once it's all this purple, there's some random gunmetal thrown in at the top. There's a head and the blaster and some other things just come back out of nowhere. So I think the color scheme is definitely very inconsistent with this character, honestly. It's just all over the place. There's so much red, and then like half of it is gunmetal and the other half is purple, and then there's like yellow sprinkled everywhere, and then there's these blue pipes which I guess are very similar to red and purple, but you know, the yellow and the black is just kind of thrown in random places, and I definitely think the color scheme is very odd, but I don't know, something about it kind of does work, actually. Just, you know, very cool. I think it does. If it was a little more consistent in some areas, I think it'd be alright. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's actually a pretty cool looking character, honestly. It's lots of different blending colors, but I think that could have been a little more consistent. There's some of the more like reds and blacks and stuff that is more of the like some of the darker toned characters, and then there's all these, you know, shiny bright primary colors thrown in as well, like the purples and the yellows. So I think if they kind of focus more on one or two colors, like maybe just the purple and the red, I think that might have been cool, and then some gunmetal sprinkled everywhere, but the yellow and the how the gunmetal is kind of where it's placed and how it's basically completely absent in the chest and the back. I guess has a little gunmetal, but really I think it's just all over the place and kind of crazy. As for how cool some of the rest of them look, I definitely like how the electricity comes off of his face and back. It's just kind of all shooting out from there. Very cool. I think a very cool vibe off of that. And I definitely do like the helmet. I don't think it was, no, I don't think it's great, but I think it's better than it was on Black Phantom. It definitely, first of all, this red blends in a little more on the top, and second of all, you know, it's very different. His had more horns coming out the side, and it does a completely different thing with all the stuff coming out of it. It's not a complete rehash of the head. So I definitely like that, how they pulled off that. And his electrical things in the back actually almost look like horns from some angles. And it's kind of like a diagonal line that they make in other angles. So I think the electricity stuff did actually pull that off very well. So yeah. That's Voltix. And I guess this is a little more I want to talk about. Another thing I really don't like about him is the arms. Like, this part looks very cool, and then it gets like really skinny right here. And I don't like that at all. Like there's the big bulky giant armor piece up here, and then these like little scrawny hands, just completely flat. And then the little, like, you know, again, really thin weapon, and then there's just like, just look at it from this angle. It's like all thin pipes, and then bulky giant everything in the middle, and then super duper thin on this side too. You know, they didn't even put like the cooler looking blaster piece here. They just made it, you know, the really thin ones, and it doesn't fit with the rest of the character in my opinion. The rest of him is very bulky, you know, very bulky, but still very bulky, as I said. Just very, I don't like how skinny he is on his arms and how short his arms are, and just, again, how freaking skinny they are when, you know, his legs and his chest and his, pretty much all this monstrosity stuff on his chest and his body is all bulky, and then it's just so thin on his arms. I really don't like that, how that worked out. It does not look very cool. So, yep, that's Voltix in a nutshell. I guess not really a nutshell, it's a pretty long video. Guess we get out the stack bar here, and we'll give them our last rating for the cool factor / design. I think I'll go 3. Again, it's a pretty average cool factor / design. There's a lot of things I really like about it. The color scheme definitely does kind of work. The straight yellow right here doesn't work very well. These work decently, and I guess these kind of add to the yellow. But I think if they focused a little more on some of the more interesting color parts, like some of it's very well designed and the rest is kind of eh. Again, the skinny arms I really don't like. But again, I don't like skinny arms. But some of the cool things, like, for example, the back almost looked like it'd be like some kind of proton pack or something, like all these pipes and weapons coming out of that, like some kind of giant device hooked up to him. It just looks very cool. And again, some parts look very cool and some just don't work very well at all. So Voltix, I definitely, if you can tell from rating, I would pick up this character while you still have the chance, until it goes on eBay and raises its price like crazy. So yeah, and that's Voltix. Hope you enjoyed this video. As the new year is upon us, there are new Hero Factory sets, the Brain Attack stuff, and I should pick some of those up. I'll definitely pick up a few in a little bit. But there are still a few breakout sets. So I think what I'm gonna do if the Brain Attack comes out is if I get the Brain Attack, is I'm gonna do 2 Hero Factories a week. So I'm gonna do 1 older review and 1 newer review, and then maybe once I get all the Brain Attack, I'll start doing 2 reviews each week. So, yep, that's all for Voltix. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for more Breakout and hopefully more Brain Attack. Later.